Hey everybody, good to be with you today. I am Andrew, your CDI webinar host today. Today's topic is classifying documents with barcodes for efficiency. I want to go through a couple items before we get started with the webinar. So as usual, everybody is on mute, but please put your questions into the question box towards the end of the webinar. I'll make sure to review the questions pane and answer any questions. If I don't get to your questions, I do get a copy of those sent to me, so I'll definitely follow up with you all on a one-on-one basis and get your answer that way. Again, no need to take notes or anything because slides and screenshots can be provided upon request, and the session is being recorded as it always is, and it will get uploaded to our CDI YouTube library where you can view it anytime at a later date. All right, perfect. So today's agenda, we're going to start with a quick PowerPoint. Today we're talking about Laserfiche quick fields, using that for processing documents via batches. So we'll get into a quick fields overview. And in the demo today, we're going to focus on using Laserfiche quick fields using barcodes and then document classification. This is gonna let us take a look into how quick fields can improve indexing speed and improve document capture accuracy. Following the demo, I'll take any questions that may have come up throughout the demo, and then we'll come back and look at CDI and Laserfiche resources to close out the webinar. All right, so Laserfiche quick fields, what is it and why should you care about it? Well, Laserfiche quick fields, this is Laserfiche's advanced capture platform that allows you to batch scan and process documents into Laserfiche through batches. So quick fields allows us to identify different types of documents in a batch. You can literally scan a batch of documents, various types of documents. As long as quick fields can identify what those documents are in those batches, we can process them. We'll look into how that's set up in the Laserfiche quick fields session designer. Quick fields can capture information from those batches of scanned or electronic documents. It extracts data and uses it to populate metadata in the Laserfiche templates. So filling out our template information with the template name and also any of the indexing fields within that template itself. And then assuming all that text is extracted, we can also then obviously run searches on any of that extracted text through quick fields. We can also have quick fields add information such as annotation. So that's another thing I'm showing today, is that quick fields can perform auto annotations into documents. Specifically today, I'm going to show you how quick fields can auto redact documents within your scan batches. And then quick fields can obviously store the documents into your Laserfiche repository. Once they're processed through quick fields, we've extracted the information we need. Quick fields can then send it off into Laserfiche. Laserfiche workflow can then take over and route everything into the correct folders, create any new subfolders, and then also obviously apply any of the metadata that quick fields has captured for us. So that's a high-level overview on what quick fields does. Now let's talk about the documents that quick fields can process. So it can process both image and electronic documents. In Laserfiche quick fields, you have a sessions designer for various document and record types that you're going to be processing through quick fields. So you have the flexibility of setting up multiple sessions for different document types. If you're going to be processing image documents, those generally consist of image pages. Sometimes there's associated text with those image pages. The image pages are generating by scanning either physical documents or using a document conversion tool such as Laserfiche Snapshot. If you don't know what Laserfiche Snapshot is, it's a really neat little component that's included with your Laserfiche licensing as a core feature. And Laserfiche Snapshot is essentially a virtual print driver. So if your application where documents reside doesn't have a direct connection into Laserfiche, for example, some program or an integration is not possible, but you still want to file that document into Laserfiche as an image file, you can simply leverage the file print function in that third-party application and select Laserfiche Snapshot as the print driver. When you do that, it then allows you to send in an image file, of that record or document into Laserfiche. Then it can also further be processed by Laserfiche QuickFields. Laserfiche QuickFields can also process documents that reside in Laserfiche already. I don't think many people know this, but you can use Laserfiche QuickFields to reprocess documents that already reside in Laserfiche. So you can use QuickFields to capture any additional metadata that you may need to fill out perhaps the rest of the document template with additional fields that may be needed. So QuickFields can process documents either from a scanner, right? A physically connected scanner. It can also do a processing of documents from local folders on your local workstation, or it can also process documents from network folders as well. So if you have a lot of content that's already perhaps scanned, but it resides on shared drives, well, you can use Laserfiche QuickFields to look into those folders and pull those documents into QuickFields, and then through those QuickFields sessions have the platform be able to process those documents for you efficiently and do the text extraction and other features of QuickFields to process those documents. So with image documents, they can be processed by extracting information from them, such as data from a barcode or doing a zonal OCR. Today, I'm showing how we can leverage the barcode recognition in QuickFields. Part of the demo is also going to be to show you how zonal OCR in QuickFields works. Basically, what zonal OCR is, it's a component of QuickFields that allows us to select specific zones or regions in a document and read those zones and bring in the data from within those zones into the Laserfiche template, right? So we can perhaps read like an invoice number or really any content that we need, maybe a name, some kind of an account ID, the date. A lot of cool stuff can be read through zonal OCR, and basically that, like I said, that extracts text from those specific zones or regions of a document. So the other document types you can process through QuickFields are your electronic files. So these are obviously your PDF documents, Word documents, Excel, anything that's an electronic file. And you would process that through QuickFields by using the text extraction feature, right? So because these files are already electronic, they contain text. And then we can read all of that text and we can do fun little things with all of that text that already appears in those documents. We can generate text and use that in QuickFields for metadata needs, right? So we can figure out what the template is that needs to be assigned to that document. We can also fill in any Laserfiche fields. We can do cool things with pattern matching, where we're able to figure out specific patterns. For example, we may be able to figure out like this number, this is the customer ID number. Once we know that through pattern matching, then we can go ahead and Laserfiche QuickFields do lookups into other systems or external databases for any additional metadata that can then be brought into QuickFields. So for example, if we use the account ID number, that we were able to figure that out through the pattern matching feature in Laserfiche, we can then have QuickFields go pull information from our customer database system and bring in any additional metadata into QuickFields and then import that all into Laserfiche. So that's a nice feature with Laserfiche, is also not only doing the barcodes, zonal OCR, but also doing lookups into other systems and databases. All right, so that covers the document types we can process through QuickFields. Let's talk a little bit about barcodes. That's kind of our focus of our demo today. Barcodes are great because they kind of limit the user error, right? And system read error as well, because barcodes are very consistent. They are always correctly read. So the information contained in that barcode can then be used to file documents into Laserfiche, to name those documents, to apply any metadata, such as filling out our index fields, and also letting Laserfiche know to where to file these documents, maybe create some new folders for us for those new documents. So Barcodes are very efficient, and many of our Laserfiche customers will actually use barcodes as slip sheets or cover sheets to identify and categorize documents. So what I mean by that, with Laserfiche Quick Fields, you can use a barcode cover sheet for your batch scanning process. So let's pretend we're scanning different types of documents, right? Maybe we're scanning invoices. We're also scanning purchase orders. And then also, there's also some other accounting documents in that batch. Well, a simple use case of a barcode is to create a cover sheet as a divider, right? So anytime Laserfiche reads a barcode, it knows, hey, all of those documents trailing this barcode are the invoices. Then it reads the next barcode. All of those documents trailing that barcode are purchase orders. And then that third barcode, all of these documents trailing that barcode are any of our additional accounting documents. So barcodes can be used in that fashion. That's a very simple use case for it. But it can do a lot more because barcodes contain information that we can read. We can then also do lookups like we would with the other lookup features in Laserfiche Quick Fields, where we do pattern matching, as I discussed before. But through barcodes, when we extract whatever is contained in that barcode, we can also use that to do lookups into those external data sources and import additional metadata into Laserfiche. So supported barcode types, I put those on the slide here. Those are all of the supported barcode types. Code 39 is a popular barcode type. Code 12893, and then obviously QR codes as well can be used in Laserfiche. Some of these are free, some of these you do have to purchase, but there are a variety of tools out there to help you create barcodes if needed. There are some free applications you can download that help you create barcodes. There are some paid ones as well. But today, towards the end of the presentation, I did want to show you all how you can create your own barcodes for free, just using Microsoft Word. So we'll get into that a little bit later. Did want to show a quick overview screen of Laserfiche Quick Fields. So this is the interface into Quick Fields. If you are familiar with Laserfiche scanning, the scanning interface, this looks very similar to it. Basically, the way it's divided is into various panes that do different functions. If we focus into the top left corner here, this is our session configuration pane. This is where we identify documents and batches of documents, and then also any of the processing that will be running on these batches. Like, for example, if we want to use the barcode recognition, that will be set up there. If we want to do the zonal OCR, that will also be set up there. I'll get into that into the demo in a live example. But below that, we have our document revision pane. This pane will populate information on those documents as they are being processed by Quick Fields. So it will show their document name. As that document name is being filled out by Quick Fields, it'll start populating there. Also, the location of where those documents are going to be imported into Laserfiche, those folders, that's going to all be clearly defined here. In the middle, this is going to be our image pane where we can review all of our pages and within those batches of what we're capturing. And then the right pane, this is our session pane. This is where we define those processes that we're using. For example, the barcode recognition or the zonal OCR, those properties would be defined in this section. And then this will also display then the metadata pane after those documents are processed. We will clearly be able to see what document template is assigned and what index fields were captured. So this is just a little preview of what the interface looks like. Quick Fields is a locally installed application, so it runs on your workstation. You can get Quick Fields Agent, which will make it be able to run on a server. That way, if you have Quick Fields Agent, also you don't have to necessarily start this process manually, start processing these batches manually. You can have the server do it on a schedule or an automated basis. But in either case, Quick Fields is a locally installed application. Even if you're using Laserfiche Cloud, it is still a local application. All right, the way it is licensed, wanted to mention this before because this gets a little confusing for some of our customers, so I did want to clarify this. So everybody on the legacy Laserfiche platforms now, that's your Avante and Rio, it's licensed per workstation. And the licensing is very modular. And by that, I mean that each functionality that you need within QuickFields is an add-on. So if you need to do barcode recognition, it's an add-on to the QuickFields license. If you do need to do zonal OCR, it's also an add-on. If you do need to do that real-time lookup into other systems and databases, it's also an add-on. So it's basically kind of like a la carte. You pick the features and functions you want with QuickFields, and then you license it per each workstation. It's a little different on Laserfiche Cloud and Laserfiche self-hosted subscription. So these are the two most recent Laserfiche platforms. With these platforms, it's licensed as a complete package. So it's no longer a la carte. You basically get QuickFields Complete. So that includes everything. That includes barcodes, zonal OCR, real-time lookup. And you also get QuickFields Agent, which is the feature that would allow you to have those sessions be started automatically on the server itself. So it's really nice. That's maybe one reason you all may want to consider migrating to Laserfiche Cloud or the self-hosted subscription option, because you get QuickFields Complete. And then if you're on the professional or business tier, you actually get 10 copies of QuickFields with those platforms, right, with that licensing tier. So basically you get 10 copies of QuickFields that can be installed on 10 different workstations. On the starter tier for both Laserfiche Cloud and subscription, it's an optional add-on. So this, you know, again, big benefit moving to Laserfiche Cloud or self-hosted subscription may be the fact that you get 10 copies of QuickFields included. So if you're looking to do a lot of batch processing of documents, this could be a great platform for you all. All right, let's get into the live demo here. All right, for that, I'm going to navigate over to my virtual machine. And this is my Laserfiche repository here. Basically, what I just wanted to show here, I'm currently in the webinars folder here. And I wanted to show there's currently nothing here. So what I'm going to do is process a batch through Laserfiche QuickFields, have it process, and then have it import into Laserfiche, and the system's going to create my folders here based on those documents within those batches. So that's the repository side of things. Now let's open up QuickFields here. Again, locally installed application. And when you first open QuickFields, you can set up various sessions, and you can recall those sessions anytime you need when you first open QuickFields. So your sessions are saved, and sessions in QuickFields are generally referring to the types of documents or records that you're going to be processing through QuickFields. You may have something that needs to leverage barcodes. You may have another process that's doing more zonal OCR stuff. So sometimes you want to separate these sessions, or you may have sessions that combine features, like what I'm doing here today. I'm combining barcodes with zonal OCR, but you basically save your sessions and then pull them up from within this list anytime you need to run them. So we'll do that here. And I'll show you exactly what's happening here. So our session configuration pane, let's talk about that. I did give you a little brief overview of it earlier, but let's dive deeper into it. So basically what I'm doing here is doing document classification. That's the first process that's going to be running. And in this batch that I'm going to be scanning into Laserfiche, it's going to be both invoices and HR letters. So I have one stack of documents. They both contain invoices and HR letters. For invoices, I'm going to be using barcodes. I'm going to be using that as the first page identifier. So you can see here, I'm using this QR code here to read the invoice number and to let me know that this document is in fact an invoice. Then I'm using an additional barcode or a QR code here to capture the date. Then for my HR letters, I'm doing a zonal OCR. So I'm extracting text from this zone here. So you can set up these little zones all over your document, assuming you can read the information within those zones. you can capture it. This is why sometimes barcodes are more efficient, because they're very easily readable. There's rarely any issues with barcodes. So for this, for the HR letters, I'm doing that zonal OCR here to identify that this is the HR salary letter, letting me know this is an HR document. And then I'm doing additional processing with additional zones within that document. So if we look here, we're also capturing the person's name here. Since this is a salary letter, we may also want to capture some of that salary information into our Laserfiche metadata. So we have created little zones to read these sections here. So that's for our zonal OCR. Then for our auto annotation, this is pretty cool. This is where you can define what kind of auto annotation you want. Usually the most popular one is a redaction. So for example, if you have something coming to you and you're processing or scanning that has social security numbers, we can set up a specific annotation feature for that, and we can define based on the information that we want to redact. For example, if it's like a social security number, we can define that there is a specific pattern to a social security number. So every time it sees the 3 digits, the dash, the 2 digits, the dash, the 4 digits, it's a social, it needs to redact that. So we can set that up in quick fields for really anything, any kind of a pattern. Or in my case, I'm just doing it based on text. So anytime it sees the word cities and digital, it knows to redact those words within that document. So this is really cool. It can auto annotate, auto redact your documents for you. So once this is all configured here, we can go ahead and start our scan. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Laserfiche Quick Fields can obviously pull from a physically connected scanner. So that's like, you're literally taking a batch of documents and scanning them through Quick Fields. But it can also pull from folders either locally on your workstation or also anywhere on the network. So you can use this to reprocess batches of documents that reside somewhere on the network on a shared drive that's been buried there for ages. And you want to finally get it to Laserfiche in a coherent manner and use some quick fields processing, then yeah, you can directly link to it from within here as a scan source and pull from those folders. You can also have Laserfiche Quick Fields point to folders in Laserfiche already. So if you maybe scanned something years ago, but nobody ever indexed it correctly, but it's already in Laserfiche, well, we can have Laserfiche Quick Fields reprocess those documents that are already in Laserfiche and perhaps add additional metadata or update templates and update other fields. So great, once this is all set up, we can hit the start scanning button. And this will start our process. You'll notice that in our document revision pane, we can see a preview of what's been happening with Quick Fields. So you'll notice it correctly recognized 2 different batches. We have our invoices, and then we have our HR letters. If I navigate over to the invoice section, we can get a preview of that document in our preview pane here. I think it may have, oh, there it goes. It's just a little bit slow today. So there you go. So if I go ahead now and navigate over to our metadata here, these are the invoices that we've processed. These are the invoices we've processed through Quick Fields. So you'll notice that the documents are named now correctly based on the information captured within that invoice itself. So in our metadata, the document name is populated, the invoice number, we were able to read that from that QR code, and then the date, we're also able to extract it from this QR code. So that's all applied to our 3 invoices here correctly, right? So our invoices are processed correctly, and then our HR letters, you'll notice that those have been split into their own batch. The metadata also got captured correctly from those zones. So like we wanted to capture the salary range, we wanted to capture the person's name and then the date. So that's populated correctly. And then the auto redactions were applied. So anytime it sees the word cities digital, it is now redacted. However, since I am a super admin in my system, I have security rights to be able to see through redactions. So I can see through those redactions. However, any other users that may not have those rights would obviously just see a black box or just a white space. So redactions have been applied correctly. Everything looks good. We can now store this to Laserfiche. And let's hit store all. So that's been imported into Laserfiche. Now, if we go to our Laserfiche repository, so this webinars folder before was obviously empty. Now we have QuickFields doing its import into our Laserfiche repository. So again, it identified that batch correctly. We have the invoices, the HR letters. So it created new folders in Laserfiche for invoices, puts our invoices here. The metadata is applied to it automatically. We've got that from those barcodes that we were reading. For our HR letters, again, correctly named in their correct folders, their correct metadata applied. So really good way to batch process documents because it is more efficient than just scanning it one by one and doing a lot of manual indexing. You can use QuickFields to define your batches. You can use those barcodes. Barcodes are great. You can read them very easy. There's generally no issues reading a barcode. Zonal OCR is great too, but sometimes there can be some slight issues reading those zones if they're kind of touching or too close to each other. So works in a lot of cases, but there may be some more involved setup with the zonal OCRs. That's why a lot of times barcodes are the preferred method. So it improves efficiency, improves accuracy, and everybody is able to use Laserfiche to its fullest and not have to do a lot of manual indexing because nobody wants to sit there and do a scan page by page and do manual indexing. So that's kind of the demo I wanted to show you all today, give you a quick overview of what Laserfiche QuickFields can do, specifically focus on barcodes. So I did want to show how you can create your own barcodes. Let me go ahead and show you how you can do it for free. So what you can do is you can just use Microsoft Word to do this. First, though, you do need to download a free barcode font. The one I downloaded it was from Google App Store. It was completely free. When you download it, you just double click it and it installs directly into Microsoft Word. So the font I downloaded is called Libre Barcode 39. So it's the Barcode 39 type. It's the free Barcode 39 font. That's literally the name of it. So it's a free download. You load it into your Word, and then super simple. Let's see if I just type something in regular font, right? And then we can go ahead and highlight it and convert it over into a barcode font. And there you go. And there's your barcode, right? So then you can do this, use this to create barcode cover sheets. You can apply fonts into other documents as needed. And again, this was completely free and really can make scanning of batches into Laserfiche much more efficient, much more accurate, and better overall. So that's the live demo today. I hope that was helpful. Let me see if I have any questions. So there are no questions, which I guess is good. And let's close out just going through some of our CDI resource slides that you all may want to leverage. These are our CDI internal resources. You can sign up for a client portal if you are a customer, where you can get access to free training. We do free training for our customers every other Tuesday. Group training sessions. It's fantastic. It's free. You get some good Laserfiche training. It can be on QuickFields, really any topic that the room wants to have answered or be trained on. Our YouTube library link is there. That's where you can view all of our past webinars, our other demos, and really any of our solutions that we offer that we made a video about. I think we are close to 300 videos now. Our CDI blog you can sign up for, obviously our link to our webinars and our CDI newsletter as well. These are Laserfiche resources. If you don't know, Laserfiche offers a lot of resources, specifically the Aspire and CPP training courses. Those are great to take. You can get certified on Laserfiche products. We actually sponsor our clients. If you are a CDI client and you want to request some credit for these training sessions, please talk to your account manager and they can potentially offer you some credits to take some of these certification classes. Laserfiche Answers, that's Laserfiche's community forum. You can interact with other Laserfiche users, ask questions to Laserfiche developers, offer some of your ideas on how to improve the product. So that's a great user community there. And then there's my information. If you have any questions, any concerns, if you're not using Laserfiche and you're like, wow, this is great, I want to potentially look at leveraging Laserfiche at our organization, let me know. Happy to give you a live demo and dive further into that discussion with you. So thank you very much, everybody. Hope this was helpful, and we'll see you in the next webinar.